Welcome to Generating Ideas Using Mentor Text. My name is Jessica Rogers from Literary Fusions. Today I'm going to share with you two different books that we like to use to help students generate ideas about memories that they have. One thing that we want to make sure about is that the students really remember that day clearly, that they have a clear, crystal clear memory of the day that they want to write about. This will help their writing as they move forward. One of my absolute favorite picture books that I like to use with my students, especially when I taught second grade, was Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge. I love this book because it's about a little boy who lives next door to an old age home. And his favorite person next door is Miss Nancy, because Miss Nancy also has 4 names. He goes over every single day and meets with her. One day, his parents let him know that she's losing her memory, and he doesn't know what a memory is. So he goes back to the old age home and he asks all the people there, what's a memory? And each person there tells him something a little bit different. One of them tells him that it's something warm. One of the people tells him something from long ago. Another person tells him that it's something that makes you cry, something that makes you laugh. And so what he does is he goes around and he collects objects that fit that description. So he picks up something that makes him laugh, something that makes him cry. And then he brings all these objects to Miss Nancy. Miss Nancy isn't quite sure why he gave her all those things, but as she's digging through, she starts to remember stories. She starts to remember things. And so then she gets her memory back. What I do from there as a teacher is I go ahead and I print off a list of all the definitions for memory, and I hand it to the students. And while there's like 9 definitions, I request that the students pick up 4 of the definitions. They find an object in their house that fits 4 of those definitions. So it could be something that makes them cry, or something that makes them laugh, or something from long ago. And they bring those objects in and they share it with the class. That's their me bag, and it's building community and things that we typically do anyway, but now it's connected to the mentor text. And as the students are telling the story, they're actually writing. They're orally telling their story. So now that they're ready to go back in, and they have 4 stories that are ready to go. So they've generated ideas using this mentor text that will enable them to write 4 stories as you move forward in Writer's Workshop. So for no matter how much I love Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge, when I moved from second grade up to 5th grade, what I found was that some of the other teachers had stolen my book. They had stolen the book that I use all the time to teach generating ideas from memories. So I found a new book. It's called The Matchbox Diary. And this story starts out with a little girl and her grandfather in his library. And she finds these matchboxes, and inside each matchbox are different objects. There's an olive pit, a piece of pasta, and just different objects in each matchbox. And when she asks her grandfather about it, he says that he came over from Italy. He's an immigrant, and he comes over from Italy, and they were very poor, and he couldn't read or write. So each of those objects is telling his story of how he immigrated from Italy to the United States. The olive pit is one story that I remember fairly clearly from the story, and that's when he used to suck on the olive pit because they didn't have enough money and they didn't have any food, and so that was nourishment to him. So she listens to his story and she hears it, but basically the matchboxes are holding objects. They're holding those memories for him, even though he couldn't read or write. And so it's the same concept, and I do much of the same lesson plan with the students as I did with Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge. I just use it for the upper grades. It's a great way to integrate social studies as well. So we talk about the different objects, and then the kids get little boxes, probably not matchboxes, but they get little boxes and they put their objects inside and they share their stories. And then again, they have 4 stories ready to write.